I think so. The new regulation about the foreign direct investment in China, which will be implemented from next January, is quite positive regarding to the legal procedure, administration procedure. So there are some big changes, especially the treatment, national treatment for foreign companies, and also the opening up of public procurement market. And at the other side, there's also some kind of simplification of legal environment for foreign direct investment. So the first reaction we see already this year, we see more and more European investment in China. For the first part of this year, we saw already more than 10 billion euro or US dollar were invested in China, which is quite high if you compare to the past, nearly triple amount of foreign capital in China. This is a regulation which put in place from the middle of April this year. And in the regulation, the motivation from the European Union is to try to set up a framework to coordinate FDI regulations in different member states. So in this regulation, three sectors will be examined. The investment in three sectors will be analyzed. First is related to the key assets or sensitive assets. The second one is related to the so-called policy backup project or state-owned companies. The third one is national security issues. So with this new framework, Chinese investment will be screened as other investment from outside of Europe. If you use this framework, and we see about 90% of Chinese projects in Europe will be screened. So as a consequence, there will take a longer time for Chinese companies to invest in Europe because they have 35 days. That's the process for the screening. And also Chinese companies to provide more information with more transparency. So this will be slowed down the Chinese investment in Europe, but also encourage some kind of protectionism in some countries, member states. And if you look at the numbers, now Chinese investment in Europe already slowed down. Every year, nearly 50% of Chinese investment less in Europe. So if you compare to the highest time in 2016, at that time, every year Chinese company invested $10 billion in Europe, but this year it's only less than $2 billion US dollars.